What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk, and I'm back with another amazing episode, amazing conversation, and amazing individual. Today's conversation, we were trying to figure out how long we've been knowing each other, but who knows? It's been almost 10 years. This man has been in the industry for a while doing his thing. He is not stopping. He has so many things going on, such as Humble Sound Studios. This man is out here working with the world. Last time I saw him, he was the one and only James Worthy. That's the only one I knew. But now he's back. He's stronger than ever. Mr. James Artissen. Welcome to BLK Talk.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
How's everything been?
Blessed, man. Can't complain. I'm happy.
You out here working.
Hey, ain't no other choice.
Okay.
You know?
So you started in the industry a while ago. I saw, your inspiration. Everybody loves Michael Jackson.
Of course.
Michael Jackson, one of the world's greatest entertainers. But you've been doing everything in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, and you're not stopping.
Nah, not at all.
Like, your inspiration for music, where did it come from?
Man, just being around it as a young kid from Queens, New York. You know, just all the, all the greats just being around, and music being in the house, and different genres, different styles that I've been accustomed to, and being able to travel the world too as a young kid. Just to kind of see different ways of living and how people make music, and all those things just like in a pot.
Okay. So you said traveling as a young kid. How did a young kid get the opportunity to travel?
Well, in a nutshell, my mom was in the travel industry.
Okay.
And
she get the good deals.
Yeah, she got the good deals. So that afforded us to just kind of travel and the different places, and she wanted me to get those experiences, which I was happy for. So it was dope.
Okay. So from Queens to Atlanta.
Yeah.
When did you guys, or you by yourself, when was the transition that brought you down to Atlanta, the world's black mecca of everything great?
I moved to Atlanta when I was like maybe 14, 15.
Okay.
I went to high school out here, and then after that it was just like the wheels kept going and going, but like I didn't really know I wanted to do music at that age just yet. Like professionally, I was still trying to figure out like, okay, I know I want to be in the entertainment industry, but I don't know exactly what yet at that time. But as time went on, that's when I started like, trying to figure out, okay, if I want to make music, how do I do it? What's gonna be my lane? What's my niche? And it started from there.
Okay. So being young and trying to figure out what it is you want to do in life. A lot of times we have conversations with people in our lives. So for you, who was that person, or who were those people that spoke to you, encouraged you, and believed in the things that you were trying to do?
To be honest with you, myself. Myself. Like,
now that's deep right there. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute.
I mean, it's just the truth. Most people in the entertainment business or music business or whatever, they had to figure it out on their own. Not everybody had a strong support system or a team or people that rallied, behind them to, push them. Like sometimes you got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
You got to figure out your lane and, just figure it out.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people. Not to say that I didn't have people along the way that, helped me with certain things and inspired me, but, in a nutshell, it came back to me.
And the reason that I said, that is a real deep answer, is because a lot of the times at a young age, a lot of people don't have the confidence to even believe in themselves. You want to do something, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to go about it. So you do seek the guidance of other people. And unfortunately, sometimes those other people may not see what it is you see, so they don't direct you in that path. And nothing against my father, nothing against you, sir, but like I remember when I was growing up, like The Temptations, The Five Heartbeats, those type of movies, I absolutely loved. And I remember I'm 12, 13 years old. I'm in the room, I'm singing to the top of my lungs, I'm busting out dance moves that they can hear downstairs.
Right.
And instead of, oh, son, you know, you're doing an amazing job, shut that damn noise up, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, as a kid, I'm like, all right, well, let me not do this type of stuff anymore.
Right.
Who knows? I could have been dancing across the stage with Usher or something like that at this age. But I'm where I'm supposed to be, so thank you for that anyway. But, you know, I'm just saying, you know, you never know what different type of inspirations and motivations can do. But thank God you had you.
Yeah.
So when did it get to a place for you where you knew that this was the industry that you wanted to be in?
I kind of knew that I wanted to like be in the industry when I met Michael Jackson. Like, because mind you,
met Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Already I was a huge Michael fan.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who wasn't? You know, but I was definitely a Michael fanatic, real young. And when I got a chance to meet him, I was 11 years old when I met him.
Wow.
And that right there, I was like, okay, if I can meet my idol, you know, if I can meet somebody that I hold up here like that, then I could kind of really, there's no limits. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Especially in what I deem as, you know, if I want to be in the entertainment industry, I mean, to have that opportunity, I could do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like the first, you know, step of getting it in my head that, okay, I think this is what I want to do. Let me figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So we should have done this in the beginning, but for the people who may not be familiar with the James Artissen, James Worthy brand, tell us a little bit of everything about who you are.
I'm just somebody that loves entertainment. I love music. I love the arts. I love creativity. I was just a kid from Queens, New York who had a dream that I would be one of the best in the game.
Okay.
That I would be one of the greatest in the industry, who would be influential, who would inspire other people, and somebody who just loves what they do.
Yeah.
You know, no matter the ups and downs, no matter the opinions, no matter who like me, who don't like me. You know what I mean? I do things from here. You know, not for this all the time. You know what I mean? And, you know, to further that, I'm a musician, I'm a songwriter, I'm a recording artist, I'm a music producer, I'm a label owner, I'm an entrepreneur. You know, these are all things that I've always wanted to be as a mogul.
And one thing, you know what? This is probably why the company is called Humble Sound.
That's part of it.
Because one thing I don't think I heard was Grammy-nominated. I don't think you said Grammy. Like, most people kind of lead with that. But you didn't. You told who you are in here as opposed to, like, all the accolades. Like, why is that? Why is it important as an artist to be humble? Whether you're here, like wherever you are. Why is being humble such a big thing?
Because I think humility is what brings the best out of us. I think that's what keeps you grounded. That's what keeps you hungry for more. That's what keeps you great. And I mean, to me, in my opinion, it's always better for other people to voice your greatness more than you.
Okay.
I like that. You can, don't get me wrong, but I think it's always better for it to come from somebody else, because that means that they have a great admiration for you, and not everything just coming out of your mouth, because, you know, who's to say, you know, what you're saying is valuable.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and not to say that it is or isn't, but, you know, just in my opinion, I always let my work speak for itself, and, you know, I just let other people say it.
I respect that, and I appreciate that, though. That absolutely makes a lot of sense. And I used to feel that way, you know, as far as allowing the work to speak for itself, because when I was doing so many things that I was doing back in the day, I wasn't the type of person that felt like I needed a website. I didn't need this. Now, this is before Instagram and all that, like, started popping, but word of mouth. Yeah. Like, a lot of the business that I would get was word of mouth. And, from that, it took me to levels that eventually I was going to need to get a website. But, that word of mouth is an amazing thing when you are a reputable person, no matter what industry you're in. If you're a mechanic, okay, allow your good work to speak for itself.
That's a fact.
One thing that I definitely appreciate and respect about you is you appreciate not only the music, but the musicians.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is, for everybody that knows me, they know I love old school music. Mm-hmm. Like Dionne Warwick, when we were talking about you meeting Michael Jackson, for me, Dionne Warwick was the epitome of what a musician was. She defined a genre. She set a standard.
Absolutely.
And the music that she created lived on through other artists.
Agreed.
And when I got the opportunity to meet her, when I heard Apollo was about to close, she was doing their final show, I said, oh, I'm not doing nothing this weekend. I'm going to New York. And not only did I want to hear her, I was determined, because I've been trying to interview this woman. She's on my list. I've been trying to interview this woman probably for the last 6-7 years. And I'm this close to doing that. But meeting her was, that was that for me.
She's amazing. And I've had a chance to meet her too.
But as far as like the meeting of Dionne Warwick, that taught me that I could, if you can meet those idols, you put your mind to it and you get there, then there's nothing that you can't do.
Absolutely.
But as far as you go, you had the opportunity to work with so many people who were influential in music.
Yes.
Tony Terry.
Yeah.
That voice is still amazing. I heard him earlier this year, and woo. Robin S.
Oh yeah.
Who else was Big Gipp? It was so many other people
genres,
that you've worked with. Not only are these people whose music still plays to this day, these are people that you've been blessed enough to have conversations with.
Absolutely.
You've been blessed enough to, create bodies of art with. Having the opportunity to work with these legendary artists, how does that feel as somebody that, even though you've been in the game for a while, somebody compared to them is, still fairly a baby in the game?
Right. For one, amazing. A blessing. More so for me, because these are people that I've looked up to, I've admired, I've been a fan of. And they've also respected my craft too, which is, always the best thing as well.
That work is speaking for itself.
Exactly. So it's been great, man. And, also I've been able to work with different artists in different genres. So it's not just, your hip hop and R&B or whatever. Like, I've done hip hop and R&B, I've done soul, I've done pop, I've done house and dance and EDM and, country and Afrobeat, so it's super dope.
So being an artist who, like, for you is not confined to one genre of music, like, does that allow your creativity to flow a little bit more, that you're not in like a specific box?
Yeah, definitely. Because I can't be in one box. Like, my mind and my creativity is just too broad. Like if like I've never been to the one to be like, I gotta make something specific for this artist or this person. Like, I just kind of make what I feel, and if it connects, then it connects. But if not, then, we keep it moving.
Okay.
But, I never was like in the game of like artist or an executive or an A&R telling me like, oh, I need you to make something specific like this. It never really worked out like that.
Okay. Now, which one of the legendary artists that you had the opportunity to work with, which one like gave you the biggest awe factor? Like, wow, like I actually had the chance to work with this person.
Man, there's been a couple of them.
Although all of them are great. Who is that one or two?
You know what? Honestly, The first one would probably be Whodini.
Mm.
And shout out to them, and rest in peace to Ecstasy, who passed away, which is the lead member of Whodini. He was one of my mentors. And, you know, I grew up on Whodini, you know what I mean? Like, One Love, Freaks Come Out at Night, Friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all records I grew up on. You know, One Love was like the epitome of music production for me growing up. I was like, I just love that production. So when I got a chance to meet them and work with them, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, bro, like, I idolize y'all, you know? So that was that was like at the top. That was the first. And then, you know, as time went on, like, you know, I had a chance to, you know, meet with Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, and, you know, that whole crew.
Now, were they still together during that time?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, wow.
They were. And I actually, one of my best friends that I grew up with was Bobby Brown Jr., which was his son.
Okay.
And, you know, that's kind of how I started coming around. And then after that, you know, now we're going into the Justin Biebers, into the Katy Perrys, into the, you know, the Madonnas, and, you know, the Fetty Waps and all of that.
Oh,
you know,
man,
so we just keep going, going and going, you know.
Wow, so you have really done some amazing things, met some amazing people, and worked with some amazing people. Do you ever sit back and reflect, or are you the person that is always on to the next thing? After you've accomplished this, I gotta focus on the next thing.
Yeah, I'm usually that person. Like, when I do something, like, it's cool. I scratch it off the list. You know, I accomplished that. We did that. Cool. But I'm always on to the next. Like, all right, what we doing? What's the next thing? What's on the bucket list? Like, you know, and I guess it could be a good thing and a bad thing, because some people might think of it as, man, you don't bask in your success. You know, you don't celebrate enough. You don't do this, you don't do that. And it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that my mind is so, like, in the future.
Yeah.
It's just that it's almost like when you work on something for so long and you've heard it for so long, and you know everything about it. To the public, they're just seeing it and hearing it. But to you, it's always been there, right? So you're like, man, I'm past it. Like, I'm going to the next thing, you know? That's kind of how it is.
I mean, do you feel like you'll ever have the opportunity? Because it's like, how can you appreciate where you're going if, like, you haven't sat and understood and appreciated and reflected, like, on the things that you've done? Like, you don't want to live too far in the past.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes you just want to, you know, celebrate yourself in those moments.
I'm celebrating a lot more now.
Okay.
In the past, probably not so much. But now I'm slowing the gears down just a little bit, and you know, realizing, wow, like, I really did that. You know what I mean? Like, I did a lot. And I had to kind of, you know, come to realization not too long ago about all the things that I accomplished and all the things that I've done and blah, blah, blah. Because somebody brought it to my attention, and it made me think. I'm like, you right. I did do that. And I forgot I did it.
See?
You know? And sometimes it's so easy to forget because you got so much more to do.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about what's next and how you can make things better and yourself better. You just don't reflect on what you already did.
How do you measure success?
That's a good question, because everybody has their own opinion, right? I measure it by how what I've done and what I'm doing makes me feel.
Okay.
That's how I measure it. Because if I don't believe in it, then I don't think it's going to be successful.
Okay. Okay. So, like, you're not a streams-driven person. You're not a, you know, numbers, likes, things like that. It's you're going to feel good about it, and hopefully the people can connect with it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always been the saying of numbers don't lie, but these days numbers do kind of lie.
Yeah, you can buy numbers.
Right, you can manipulate a lot these days.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really, not to say I don't put no stock in it, but yay and nay. You know what I mean? Like I can, but then I can't. You know what I mean? Because I know the game.
Okay.
Now, I do appreciate, you know, my audience and my fan base supporting what I'm doing. And look, let's run it up. You know what I mean? Let's make it hot. You know what I mean? But we're doing it the right way. We're not doing it, you know, the
not right way.
Yeah. You know, we doing it, you know, how we supposed to do it. So that's what I appreciate.
Okay. What is some of the best advice that you've received over your career?
The best advice. I mean, I live by this saying, you gotta learn from people who are better than you. That's the only way.
Okay.
And I say that because if you're not learning from anybody that's better than you, what are you taking away? Like, if somebody's at your same level and knows exactly what you know and nothing more, there's nothing to learn.
Y'all aren't growing.
There's no growth. There's nowhere for me to go anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would rather talk to somebody who's done more than me, who's accomplished more than me, who's a better musician, a better singer, a better writer, whatever.
Yeah.
Because now I can take pieces from what you've done and what your experiences are, and now I'm like, okay, cool. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But I got to figure out how to get there. And I'm not like implementing you or imitating you.
Yeah.
I'm just figuring out how to get there myself. But I'm looking at what you've done to inspire me and give me the tools.
Yeah. Okay. What are some of the things like that you would tell artists that are up and coming? You know, as we know, the industry is very different. You know, it evolves all the time. Some of the things stay the same, but there's a lot of evolution in the industry.
Definitely.
There's a lot of business in the industry. What are some of the things that you tell up and coming artists that you work with as far as being successful and things like that?
I tell people you gotta know what you're doing this for, man. Like, is it because you love it? Is it because you want to be famous? Is it because you want to get rich? Is it because you want some likes and clicks? Like, what is it? You know, so that's the first part. The other part to that is, what about you is going to make people want to love you?
Okay.
You know, because we all know that these days, it's not so much about the music, it's about the person, the brand.
Yeah.
You know, are they invested in you? You know, do they like you for a certain thing for them to fall in love with the music? You know? So I think that's kind of the niche that you have to find within yourself to get people to be invested in you.
Okay.
You know, because I'd rather have 100 super fans than 1 million followers.
I know that's right. Now, why should people invest in the James Artissen brand?
Because it's authenticity. It's truth. I don't hold my tongue for nobody. You know, I let it be known what it is. But also, I'm true to my artistry. I'm true to my art. I don't conform. I don't do what other people expect or want me to do. Like, I do what I feel is in my heart.
Okay. And what's coming up? What is your heart preparing to release next?
So what do I have going on? Of course, we got the imprint, Humble Sound Records, just continuing to build that brand. Shout out to the team. Shout out to all the artists that's on the team. I'm in the process of finishing up my debut album that's coming out next year. So shout out to you know, my whole entire squad that's helping me with that. Shout out to 19 Music, they're my business partners in conjunction with my label. And other collabs too. I got a collab EP that I'm working on with another artist by the name of Big Bags. He's out of North Carolina.
Okay.
So we actually have a single coming out next month, December 5th, called Down for Whatever. So check that out. We'll be posting that soon. And man, just stay tuned to the socials, man. There's a lot going on.
I love it. And where can they stay tuned to those socials, website, YouTube, all that?
All social media at James Artissen. You can go to the website www.jamesartissen.com and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/James Artissen.
Look, if you guys like authenticity, if you like music and art from the heart, then y'all definitely need to support this man. Thank you guys for continuing to support me. And we'll be back with another amazing episode of BLK Talk very, very soon. Appreciate it.